But Bill's here in the, Bill is here in the room.
Yes. Was that Kathy? I just heard.
No, that was the recording saying it started.
Okay, so we're recording. So morning, July 22nd. This is a Tuesday morning workshop. We're opening our workshop meeting. We have on the agenda first, and really our only item is to talk about courtyard signs and facade scope of work. Is the applicant in the room? And I
believe they're online.
They're online? Okay. So I'm not in a great position to kind of lead the meeting only because I'm also remote this morning. But if I don't know if Eric, if you could, or Jamie, if you could take the lead with them, just start talking through some of the talking points.
Yeah, who do we have online? Is that Julie and Brian, I see?
Yep, Julie Tittle. Good morning.
Yep, and Brian Earhart.
Good morning, thanks for coming.
No problem.
All right, so there's kind of two aspects to this project, the signage and the facade. I guess we'll jump into the signage first. So Julie, you said you'll be working on the ZBA application?
Right, that I just finished yesterday and submitted it to Sharon.
Okay, good, because I know there was some missing pieces
Right,
that I believe she reached out. Okay, good. So it's for the two signs, sign number 3 and sign number 4, is that correct?
yes.
Okay, and it's just because of the location, they don't face a street facade to which it has access. I know they're existing, but at some point the code changed and they moved from like a pylon sign to being attached. So we're just trying to clean that up.
Okay,
The monument sign out front, I did speak with the sign company. They are showing the street address on it, so that's good. We confirmed the total square footage is within the allotted amount. And the new sign 1 is in a allowed location. So that all seems reasonable. We can get you on the August 14th meeting for a recommendation to the ZBA. And they meet on August 18th. So that timing works out pretty well. And I think that's it for the signage unless anyone had anything else to add. All right,
I think so.
so the facade work. And thank you for sending in the samples. I thought I was gonna have more architects in the room today. I dropped the ball on the scheduling, so
We've
we'll,
got one architect that's.
in the room.
Oh, in
In the room, I have physical samples. Brian dropped off physical samples of the wood look, aluminum cladding and soffit material. But I will have those available at the next meeting when more people,
night.
or Thursday night.
Everyone can
Yeah,
put their hands on them, yeah.
So Julie, if you wanna kind of give a rundown of the facade work, I know we kind of touched on it briefly at the other concept meeting, but if you could kind of just give us an overview.
okay, so with this renovation for the brand, along the front facade of the building, besides the paint colors, they're adding in these vertical aluminum slats to enhance the look of the front of the building. See, that's,
There you go.
and here we are.
You have an elevation or rendering, so there we go.
Yeah, so that just shows the slats along the two sides of the entranceway and also showing the new porte-cochere. Basically, the structure stays, it's just being reclad to update it. And yeah, and just the slats, and then just some lighting changes, and that's about it.
So these are vertical aluminum batten strips,
Correct.
Yes,
just
Yep.
mounted straight to the facade.
yes.
Yeah, they're two by fours are what are called for on the front elevation.
And there, is that a window? You're just screening over the window to keep it continuous? There's
Right.
a rectangle right in the middle? Okay.
Right, they are windows.
I do have a cut sheet of the samples, so I'll put that on the screen right now.
And then in order to kind of address how the battens are terminating at the roof line, what's happening at the roof line? Or are they just standing proud?
What do you mean? What do you mean at the roof line? Like at the soffit?
At the so there's an overhang currently?
Yes,
Yes,
So they're just gonna terminate on the underside of the soffit?
correct.
Okay.
And then if you look, there's a little bit of new storefront work. There's some new soffit that's to the right of the new automatic sliding doors that go in. So that all, the soffit material and the roof, the ceiling of the porte-cochere is what that wood grain look aluminum soffit is all intended for. So when we
Okay.
remove the existing hip roof off of the porte-cochere, then we're framing it to be a flat roof. So there's a little bit of roof changes to it, the ceiling work with the new soffit, the aluminum clad, building painting, you know, some new wall packs and some new lighted bollards. That's pretty much the bulk of the scope of work there, along with the storefronts and the new automatic sliding doors.
What's the extent of painting? Is it just the front facade? EIFS?
The extent of the painting is everywhere that we have to do EIFS repairs. Which are over a couple of the doorways, if I remember correctly.
right.
So I know, Julie, we spoke about lighting a bit, and there was a question of whether or not the photometric was necessary. And I understand some of these lighting fixtures won't be really represented on a traditional photometric plan. So I think we were gonna have someone at the Thruway Authority kind of just review the cut sheets instead.
Okay,
So I believe we were wondering if we had a good contact there, but maybe if you know someone at the Thruway Authority or could kind of get their approval on the types of lighting, then we won't necessarily need the photometric. I know we discussed the uplighting in the front, and as you described them, they're kind of just wall washing the front facade and not really gonna be spilling over anywhere else. Is that the intent of the in-ground puck lighting?
right, just soft lighting to highlight the new battens, you know, and the front of the building. And there's an angle to it, so you can direct it right onto the walls. And it just goes up to that soffit.
So since this is more architectural lighting, what sort of
Right.
color range are you proposing?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What color lighting?
It's just a soft off-white lighting, nothing very bright,
Okay,
just a little yellowish cast to it, not like a bright white.
not a bright white, not a chromatic various color scheme.
Right.
All right, I found cut sheets.
Right, so the top left image is what's proposed for the front. So that just shows an evening photo of how the lighting would just highlight the front of the building.
Doug, can you see what Eric's trying to share?
Yes, I'm on my phone, so it's tiny, but I can see the photo on the top left as you're referring to. So it's a very subtle uplighting onto the facade.
So I don't know if that image has the in-ground lighting, but this is the cut sheet of it in the bottom left. I can't see. But the bollard lighting is pretty well focused downward. The sconces, Julie clarified, are downlight. And they are replacing existing fixtures on the balcony. There are these kind of strip sconces that are at the secondary entrances, is that correct?
Yes,
And the wall packs are replacing existing wall packs.
yes.
And those look pretty full cutoff. The other ones are downlight. These are the fixtures under the soffit.
Correct.
This is the sconce that'll be downlit. So I think we'll just send these cut sheets to the Thruway, and if they're okay with it, then we're okay with it.
Okay.
The dumpster enclosure gate. So this was a point of discussion. Since it is kind of at the entry to the hotel, there was some talk about cleaning it up, replacing it with something a little more opaque. I would defer to the architects for the material suggestion.
Okay, and actually I'm wondering if Brian has more information or
I actually just talked to Nyan about this yesterday.
okay,
So that's when it was kind of brought to my attention. So, dressing it up, is there a preference in the material for it? And I think that Nyan had also mentioned in his discussion with you, and Eric, forgive me if I'm wrong on this, but he talked about reducing the size of either the dumpster itself and just dressing up the gate rather than the entire enclosure. Does that sound about right?
I don't recall that conversation with him, but.
Okay, I don't know if it was with you or Julie, was that with you or?
yeah, Nine and I were talking about that before we got more information about what the main issue was with that, and so it's just the material on the gate.
Okay.
Well, I think it's two things. First is just better screening material so you don't see what's inside the dumpster enclosure, given where it's at. And the second is, we generally ask that those enclosures are consistent with the architecture of the building, especially something that's so forward facing like this. So I think both of those goals are what we're trying to achieve, is to better hide and screen what's inside it, and to make the gate material and the enclosure more consistent with the facade. So you may have some opportunities with some of the materials that you're proposing, but I think really just to make it opaque, if you've got a stucco ephes building, a very simple, opaque, kind of, you know, almost monolithic, or maybe you are using some of the Batten vocabulary, but I think you've got options, but we're not going to prescribe it.
On the enclosure itself, or are we just talking about reworking and cleaning up the gate, or both? Is that what the request is? Is the gate and the enclosure itself? Because obviously, if you're saying the slats, the aluminum cladding, if you're talking about that would go on. That wouldn't be part of the gate. That would be part of the that would be something that would get mounted to the enclosure. Because those, if I don't know if anybody has seen the sample of those are rigid pieces of aluminum that protrude out, either 2 inches or 4 inches. So they're not really like slats like you would weave in and out of, say, a chain link fence material. They're more rigid, solid pieces. So I guess my question is, are we only talking about the gate first of all? What is the current
Talking
gate?
about the whole enclosure.
Okay,
The whole thing's
so that's
No.
something that we'll have to go back.
We're really focused on the chain link with the privacy slats, so it really is more of the gate.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought you guys were saying.
So the gate,
do-
finding a complementary material to put on it that would go with what we're doing with the facade.
Yes.
That's right.
Which, Julie, we'll have to go to the drawing board on that one. I mean, with a stucco building with aluminum slats, I'm not sure what you can make a fence gate material out of. You wouldn't make it out of a stucco or that. Anyways, that'd be way too heavy.
No, I
Right,
don't-
and
We're not
So
saying,
there's a-
at least I'm not saying that it has to be a stucco material. It doesn't have to match the material, but you can use some of the opaqueness of the ephes facade. You can kind of incorporate that into whatever the gate material
okay.
is.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay. Just from a look and an architectural and a curb appeal standpoint is what you're talking.
It is all. It's about making it consistent and
So that it doesn't look like it's just a standalone, completely different style building, right? Got it.
you got it.
Okay. So now, is that something that Julie can get back over to you guys along this process to not delay the commencement of the work altogether? Because as I understand it in my conversation with Eric, it's the sign and the building, everything gets approved. Once everything is approved together, then we can apply for our permit, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, because it's all under one site plan.
Right. So,
So the
If
next,
you have sketches, if you've got sketches of what you'd like to propose, I think generally the board will receive them and distribute them for comment in
Okay.
advance.
okay, all right.
okay, so you need this by when? Next Monday's date?
so the timeline, basically, you'll be on the August 14th meeting for a recommendation to the ZBA.
Okay,
They meet on August 18th. You'll still have to come back to the planning board after the ZBA for final approval, after you hopefully got your variance. So you will be looking at one meeting after the 18th. If we want to keep it moving along, we could get you on the 28th for potential final approval. So the deadline to have everything in for that final meeting on August 28th will be August 14th. If you want stuff to be reviewed at the August 14th meeting, if you submit those drawings by July 31st, we can speak to that submittal on August 14th. So that may give you a little more feedback if you want to have everything in by July 31st. We can discuss more at the August 14th meeting. Then you go to the ZBA on the 18th, come back to the planning board on the 28th.
Okay,
So really, the only thing left to submit is this dumpster, is the gate and the dumpster enclosure conversation. Is that accurate?
Yes, and getting approval on the cut sheets for the lighting. So if you could do that, if you could send that out to the Thruway Authority, the cut sheets, and get some kind of response or approval from them, that will allow the board to move forward with the lighting.
okay,
So, yep, getting the drawings for the dumpster gate, submitting the cut sheets to the Thruway Authority. And
then real quick, the meetings that you just said, 14th is the zoning board where you make the recommendation, meeting on the 18th, planning
No,
board on the 28th.
hold on, Brian. The 14th, August 14th will be the planning board meeting. That the planning board makes the recommendation to the ZBA.
Got it, got
The
it.
ZBA meets on the 18th. And then you have to come back to the planning board after the ZBA makes their decision.
Hopefully for the final on the 28th.
Exactly.
Got it, okay.
I think that's all I had for you.
Okay,
all right.
Anybody else?
Oh, thank you. We can review the samples on Thursday evening. You have them.
Yes, I have them in here. We'll review those in a couple of days. So thank you for providing those, Brian.
yep, just let us know any feedback that you have from those, would you, please?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. All right, and then we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
bye.
Very good, thank you. I am going to close the work session meeting. You can stop the recording. There's no objections.
Nope.
Right.